think that employees have always done the work. So if you even go back to early manufacturing days, they may have been told specifically what to do, but quality would depend on them doing it right. I think that the big thing that's changed in the last 15 years is the speed of change. And a lot of leaders need employees to not only bring their hands to work, but also their heads and maybe their hearts. And that idea of them proactively trying to make things better seems to be a real key to winning, to sustain competitive advantage. And I think that that's why it may sound a little alarming to some leaders still, but the idea of saying, forget about your customers, put your employees first. The idea really is because they're the ones that take care of the customers ultimately. There's a couple of things. What do we mean by brave, too? I think that in all these cases, it has to do with a self-expression. That is to say, who shows up when you walk in the door. And I think that many of us can develop ways of just getting through the day, getting through the week, where we're kind of bringing as little as possible. And I think that that is a lowest common denominator approach to work or to leadership. And I think this idea about bringing your best self has to do with the unique perspectives, the unique talents that you have, the strengths that are unique to you, the idea that you aren't ashamed or afraid to really show those and bring those and leverage those in order to create real value for the organization. The reason why I think the word bravery does fit there is it sort of takes a lot more energy to be different, and it's safer to fit in, safer to conform. What jumps into my mind immediately is the difference between having change done to you versus doing change. And a lot of times company cultures try to do change to people where somebody very senior and far away from the action comes up with a new idea and then says, here's the way we're going to do this now. And a lot of times people flinch from that, and their existing habits seem way more comfortable and way more predictable. And so there's a reluctance or resistance to that. One of the things that we have to learn and remember is that human beings are also really good at change. We're kind of the change species. Compared to all the other animals, we're the ones doing the change to this world. But I think the difference is it's because we feel like entrepreneurs and we feel like we've got the idea and it's our idea and we want to take it forward. And I think that to answer the question quickly, that's an untapped resource for lots of organizations, that the energy and people's creativity, it's right below the surface, but the leaders have to ask for it. So there's probably a sense in which, going back to the first question, the word engagement, the idea that you don't just tell people what to do with their hands, but you ask people what would work best and engage their minds. I think that that is probably the way that sustainable, robust change gets made in organizational life.